In today's video, I'm enjoying a pretty simple breakfast with some toast, jam, eggs, and avocado. And I'm talking about another viral topic. This one's pretty serious. Let me know what you think.
The other twin was kind of telling the story to the news. He said that his brother told the young black guy to move, and he refused to move. And he said so his brother grabbed his bag and I guess threw it, telling him to move. And they exchanged words. The twin brother, he didn't say exactly what words were exchanged, but basically he told him he needed to move. And he said that the young black guy told him, if you put your hands on me, or something like that, put your hands on me and see what happens, or something like that. And so apparently the twin grabbed him or pushed him or touched, he did something. I'm sure the full story will come out. And the young black guy stabbed him in the chest and took off running. Hey guys, it's me, Talia Risa Gibson. You can call me Tag for short, and welcome to my channel.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Today I have some breakfast, y'all. I just have some toast with some strawberry preserve. I have avocado that I put some garlic, onion powder, cayenne pepper, sea salt on, and then I have just one scrambled egg back here as well. And so you guys can see that there. I also have a smoothie. It's coconut milk, frozen strawberries, frozen banana, frozen kiwi. So strawberry, kiwi, banana, and coconut milk. So I'm gonna say a prayer and we'll get into this. Dear God, thank you for this food I'm about to eat. Thank you for this day. I ask that you be with my viewers, keep them happy, healthy, and safe. In your name I pray, amen. Amen. So, y'all, I did a food delivery last night and it was late. It was supposed to get here between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. And then I looked and I was like, it's already 7:30. So I had to get on a little chat and like see what was going on with my order, because I don't do food delivery a lot at all, because I typically like to get my own groceries, especially if I'm getting like vegetables or stuff like that, fruit. And so I ordered a couple of different things, including 5 avocados. And I was looking through my bag and I had pulled out the bag of avocados. And then when I got to the end pulling the other stuff out, there were 5 more avocados. So they gave me 10 avocados, which are way too many to have at once, because I'm like, what am I going to do with 10 avocados? But what I'm thinking I'll do is take some of them and unpeel them, chop them up, and put them in the freezer, because I've made smoothies before using avocado as well as other things, because it gives a creamy texture. So I may do that. This is sourdough bread. That's kind of what I've been going for if I get bread, the sourdough. But I try to read the directions, or not directions, I try to read the ingredients, because not all sourdough bread is made the same. Like some have so many other ingredients. You're like, whoa. Mm. Mm. Had to get a couple bites in. Mm. So how are y'all doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. I just going through some life transitions, which I'll talk about in another video. So I do have a topic today again. I really want to start topics and continuing topics, things that are going on in my videos. If you guys have noticed the last couple of videos, I've been having topics. So there's something going on right now here in the Dallas area. There's a suburb that's north of Dallas called Frisco. And there was a track meet that was going on. And I don't know if this has made worldwide news. It may have. But there was a young athlete who was sitting under a tent. And mind you, track meets, they don't really have like complete assigned seating. People are always moving around and all of that. But some teams will put up tents to keep people shaded and stuff like that. And so the young man, and I'm going to mention race here because it's caused a whole uproar. And so that's the only reason why I'm mentioning race. So the young man is a black teenager. I think he's 17 years old. And he was sitting in another team's area, apparently under a tent that their team had put up. But mind you, again, there's not really any assigned seating. So there's no rules that you have to sit here or sit there. So apparently there were some other athletes, and I guess they were athletes as well. Some people were saying they weren't there to run, but they're athletes in other ways, but they weren't there to run. I don't know if this is true or not, but two of the guys were twin brothers. And so one of the twins got up and basically told the black guy, and I'm saying this for a reason, but he, so the twins are white, okay? So one of the twins got up to tell the black guy to move and that he couldn't sit in that area. because it was their tent, or he was sitting under where their tent was. The other twin was kind of telling the story to the news. He said that his brother told the young black guy to move, and he refused to move. And he said, so his brother grabbed his bag and I guess threw it, telling him to move. And they exchanged words. The twin brother, he didn't say exactly what words were exchanged, but basically he told him he needed to move. And he said that the young black guy told him, if you put your hands on me, or something like that, put your hands on me and see what happens, or something like that. And so apparently the twin grabbed him or pushed him or touched, he did something. I'm sure the full story will come out. And the young black guy stabbed him in the chest and took off running. And in the midst of running, he threw the knife in the bleachers somewhere, and they found it later. When the police were escorting the young man away, the young black guy, he heard him talking, I guess on his radio or whatever, saying that he has the suspect who allegedly stabbed. And he says that the young black guy said, no, it's not allegedly, I was defending myself. And he said he was hysterically crying and all of that. So of course it sparked, because one was black and the twins were white, it has sparked outrage, because you have people in comment sections calling the black guy a thug. You have people responding who know the boy, saying that he has good parents, he has been a star athlete, he has had eyes on him for college, and that he's not a thug, and that if he stabbed this young man, it must have been for a reason. Some people are saying that this wasn't just a random situation, that the young black guy had occurrences with these twins before, and that they had kind of bullying personalities and had said stuff to him before, prior to this track meet and all of that. So the questions that arise for me are, why did the young man have a knife in his bag or on his body, whatever it might be, at a track meet, especially being what everybody said was such a well-rounded young man? My second question is, why was he sitting? Because people were saying he's had encounter with these twins. The twins were the white guys. He's had encounters with these twins before. Why would you want to sit near them? This is my second question. Why would you want to sit near them if you've had encounters before where they've been aggressive or had bullying tendencies? Why would you want to even sit in that area when it's a track meet, so you can go sit by your team, your coach, or whoever is there, And so those are my two questions on the side of the black boy. Those are the questions that I have about him. Why was he sitting over there, and why did he have a knife? When it comes to the twins, there are other people who are saying, and his twin brother admitted that he put his hands on the boy's backpack. People are saying he also threw his phone, and the phone ended up breaking. So the white twin threw the black guy's phone and backpack. The phone ended up breaking. That's what some people are saying. So this is allegedly, I don't know. And then the twin did confirm that he grabbed him to move him from the tent, or put his hands on him to move him from the tent. Others are saying that it wasn't just grabbing him, that both twins actually got aggressive and tried to jump the young black guy. And so he pulled the knife to defend himself and stabbed one of them in the chest. That twin, His brother did try to save his life, and he ended up dying in his brother's arms. So a twin lost his twin there at a track and field meet. So it's really sad. And to see people commenting, and it's just back and forth, and then race is involved in all of this. You have white people saying if it were the other way around and the white guy stabbed the black guy, it would be outroar. Like, people would be outraged. But there is outrage even now. Like, even though the black guy stabbed the white one, it's still outrage. And so I'm just like, for me, it's going to be really important to find out what happened. And I really hope that people will tell the truth. But this is what I know. I don't believe, even if the twins jumped on the young black man and were trying to fight him, it's a public track meet. This was during the daytime. This was early during the day. You got all these people sitting around. So even if these dudes tried to jump on him, the young black man could have screamed, "Get off me, get off me," and adults nearby would have realized something was going on. He shouldn't have ever sat near them if he had experience with them before. So for me, there's no excuse to have the knife and to pull the knife and to stab the twin. That's the part that I just feel like is unacceptable. And I don't believe anything warranted that. The only thing that would warrant that is, let's say that you were being attacked in a way where you felt like you were going to be killed yourself. Then that's different. But just boys trying to fight you, yeah, you're being overpowered by two twins, potentially, they said. I don't know if that's fully true. But because it was during the daytime and there's so many people out there, they weren't in some isolated area. I feel like the young black guy could have got help. So the stabbing part, I just can't say that he was defending himself. To me, that was too aggressive. If it had been the other way around, it would have been too aggressive as well. If the white guy had stabbed the black guy, either way, to me, would have been unnecessary. And to me, there's no justifying that behavior. And I think it's sickening that people are justifying it. Now, I do think it's important to find out if these twins, especially because the twin brother was interviewed, his mother, his father, they were all interviewed. And if the twin brother who's alive, if he is lying and him and his brother were getting really, really aggressive, because it sounds like the one brother who lost his life also did put his hands on him and put his hands on his stuff. He didn't have a right to put his hands, even if he was sitting in the wrong section, or even though there's no assigned seating. But if you wanted him to move because your tent is right there, tell an adult if he didn't move. You told him to move, get your coach or whoever is nearby, adult, to help you tell him to move. Because, like I said, there is no assigned seating. So why was it a big deal to make him move? Especially if he wasn't bothering anybody. And it's sad. It's really sad. Because even if the twins are these mean-spirited teenagers, even if that's true, this twin has lost his twin brother and had to see him die in his arms. I don't care if you have bullying tendencies. I don't wish that upon anybody, to lose a sibling. I lost a sibling to cancer, but I can't imagine watching your sibling get stabbed and die that way. And so it's really sad because some people are having no heart right now. Like, they're not even sympathizing for the young man who lost his brother. And I get it. Like, people are saying, okay, they were bullies, they're mean. But was that moment worth stabbing? It's different if you feel like your life is really in danger and not just someone trying to fight you. Because nowadays, if someone's trying to fight you, fight back and get away to a point where you can go get help, or scream and yell, because there's so many people around you. It's a track meet, and during the day, you weren't isolated anywhere. And so that's the part that just keeps circling my mind, and I just don't understand why people are being just heartless for this family that lost their son. I don't care. They could be the meanest people, but that situation did not need to have a knife pulled. There's just no excuse for it. We can't just say, oh, he pushed me, I was scared, so I stabbed him or I shot him. Because that happens enough to us in our Black community. It happens enough to us with police officers. Oh, I thought he had a gun, so I shot. Like, remember Philando Castile, who got pulled over? He worked as, I think, in the school cafeteria or something like that. He told the officer, I have a gun in my car. And he told him because that was the right thing to do, is to let him know, and still got killed right there with his girlfriend sitting in the passenger seat. And so we have stuff like that happens enough to us in our communities and also with law enforcement. So we have to be the change we want to see. When something's not right and someone who is from our Black community does something that is too far, going too far, doing too much, we need to say it's wrong. And I feel like because so much has happened, we just want to defend our own, even when they're wrong. And if those twins were being mean or aggressive towards the young Black guy, they were wrong too. But that still doesn't warrant taking a life. It shouldn't be that serious where you have to take a life when you could have got away, you could have got help. And first of all, you shouldn't have sat there if you had experience with them previously. If that's true, because that's what people are saying. So if you knew that, why did you sit there? And I feel like we need to have more conversations with our youth about how to handle things. If you are dealing with someone in school who's mean-spirited or this or that, if you can stay away from them, stay away from them. If they're following you around and they're being aggressive, then talk to your parents. If your parents won't help you, find somebody and keep telling adults, keep telling somebody until someone will hear you. But don't just allow yourself to continue to be around it. Get yourself out of the situation the best that you can. And also, for the parents of those twins, with that situation, if he was sitting there and you guys didn't want him under your team tent, fine. But you never know when you approach someone. You don't have a right to touch anyone's belongings. You don't have a right to force them to move. If you've asked somebody to move and you really think they shouldn't be there, go tell an adult. You're at a track meet. Go tell an adult or somebody else to help you deal with that situation. It wasn't okay to put their hands on his backpack, on his phone, or him, because you never know what someone's level is. Some people, you can say stuff, you can act aggressive, and they'll still remain calm and they won't be bothered by it. But you never know what's going to set someone off. And for this twin, whatever he did set this young man off, and now he's lost his life because of it, when he should have just left it alone himself. So I feel like there's two wrongs on in this situation, but it's just not okay to take someone's life or stab them or use a weapon that could potentially take their life when there's a way out of it. And that's my thinking behind it. It's so horrible of a situation. It's so just like, I just can imagine on both sides of the family how they're feeling, because one is potentially going to lose their son to the legal system. The other is going to have a funeral to bury their son, who was a twin to his brother. Ugh, y'all, what do y'all think? I don't know if this has been nationally covered, but this just happened a couple of days ago. And so everybody's been on social media talking about it and just trying to like process it, and everybody has their opinion. And you have the people that are standing up for the boy who lost his life. You have people that are standing up for the boy who took the life, because they said that's not his character. Apparently there were some photos released of the young black man where he was holding a gun and he had his middle finger up and all of that. And apparently that gun is not even a real gun. It's one of those that looks like one. It's some kind of air kind of gun or whatever. That's what people are saying. So I don't know. But you know, whenever something comes up, they're going to go try to find anything that will push the narrative of it being a thug, which I hate. When people use the word thug and they don't really know what that actually means, or when people use the word woke and they don't know what it actually means, it just makes me cringe. So I just don't know, y'all. I hope the truth comes out. I do feel like this young black man is going to have to reap some consequences for taking a life. I just don't feel like that was necessary. Unless you can tell me that he was in a position where they were choking him or where they had a weapon. Unless there is proof of that and that was the case, I don't see how there's any excuse for what he did. I hope that if those brothers, if the twins were being aggressive or being forceful, I hope this also teaches a lesson to people that that kind of behavior can make you lose your life or someone that you care about, you know? And so I think there's lessons on both sides, and I just hope the truth comes out, the real truth, whatever it may be. But taking a life is never the first thing to do if you can remove yourself from the situation. So that's it. That's all, guys. I appreciate you all so much for tuning into this video. What do you all think of the situation? I don't know if you've heard about it. If you want to, maybe I'll put a link in the description box if you would like to learn more about this case and what's going on. But what do you think about it? I just find it to be devastating, honestly, either way it goes. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course hit that bell notification so you'll know when I post. Until next time, bye.